We are exploring Coconino National Forest in central Arizona, and we are helping our viewers understand our truck named Pepper. For this episode, why we got here is less important than how we are wandering now. The previous episode described how we discovered what makes the West such a unique place in America, and how the public lands of the West are some of our country's greatest national treasures. This is Pepper. She may look like a truck, but she's actually a transformer. We identified three purposes. The first was to strengthen our relationship with family and friends. The second purpose was to explore America, get to know our country again after living overseas for 16 years. And the third purpose was to go adventuring and exploring and have exciting outdoor experiences.
We realized that if we had a vehicle, if we had a truck that we could camp in, that we could travel in, that we'd be able to both see family and friends and adventure. And so as we started to plan this time of wandering, we realized that the truck would be the best way to accomplish those goals.
We planned to design Pepper by figuring out first what were our needs. We knew that we had family and friends all over the country, so we needed a vehicle that could do a lot of high distance, long distance traveling easily, but we also knew that we wanted a vehicle that could go into the backcountry and off of paved roads, off of sometimes even off of dirt roads, onto tracks that were barely called roads at all. She's armored. Her front bumper, unlike most trucks and most cars where the bumper is made of plastic and foam, Pepper's bumper is armored. Metal, tubular steel. Her back bumper is also armored. Tubular steel, metal, and then here we even have a rubber bump stop. Even the side of Pepper is armored with tubular steel rock sliders. The entire underbody of Pepper is also armored with boron steel. And we wanted the vehicle to be able to have us be able to sleep in it and eat in it and meet all of our basic needs of food, clothing, store our clothing, provide shelter, and make sure that we had water and all of those basic needs.
We did a lot of different plans. We explored a lot of different ideas, all the way from a Sprinter van to a Vanagon to a Ram truck to all different kinds of configurations.
Yeah, so the design specifications were that it needed to be a four-wheel drive, high-clearance vehicle, and that it needed to have all of the camping equipment for a place to sleep and water and food and storage and protection from the elements. And we laid out all of those specifications on a spreadsheet and detailed what our energy consumption needs would be, and from that we had all of everything that we needed this complex transformer to accomplish.
We wanted a vehicle that was as flexible as possible, that would allow us to comfortably drive from place to place to see our family and our friends, and allow us to get into the backcountry for adventure. So we were looking at something that would be a home for us, that would include a way to cook, a way to sleep, a way to enjoy being out in nature, to hike, to make good food, and to have water. All of those different things were things that we thought about as we were planning Pepper, and we did a great job. She's been awesome.
Pepper was built in a variety of ways. The base truck, the Chevy Colorado ZR2 Bison, was built by Chevrolet Company. And we picked that up and then we brought it to an upfitter in the Seattle area, and they put on the canopy camper. And then we also worked with a place in New Jersey, OK Four-Wheel Drive, who installed the fireplace. And then we also worked with a place in Denver, Juniper Overland, and they helped with installing the Starlink system and some of our locks. And then we've done a lot of our own modifications on top of that.
And so we've had a lot of different people who've helped us over time. We've done some of our own work on the truck as we've gone, and there's still things left to do.
I would say we evaluate it on a daily basis because we're using it on a daily basis, and we're always asking ourselves, how do we make the system more efficient?
Well, it's pretty easy to evaluate it when you've got a problem and you realize that you've got something that's not working. And so when we realized that we had something that wasn't working, we stepped back. We thought, what was the problem? What are we facing? How might we solve that? For example, we started out with 2 folding bicycles in the back. And we quickly realized that they were not only big, but they took up a lot of room, they were heavy, and we had to lift them in and out of the truck every time we wanted to get into it. And so we decided that we wouldn't carry those bikes anymore and save them for other uses. And so that's made the back of the truck much easier to use, and those kinds of things. That was a big change, but we've made little changes too, like the way we strap down our equipment, the way we store different kitchen items, what we put in different boxes. So we're always looking for ways to improve our systems and the functionality of Pepper.
But a lot of the process has been actually removing things from the vehicle, and it's less about what does the vehicle have and more about what can we take away so that we can be more efficient. But Pepper is a transformer, and she transforms energy to become much more than just your standard truck. Energy is the ability to do work, and if Pepper is a transformer, then she has to transform energy from potential to kinetic and back and forth the whole time. We can think of potential energy as the position, not the motion. And we can think of kinetic energy as the motion, not the position. Kinetic energy is found when potential energy is released. We use elastic energy when we stretch on a daily basis with these tools, which are called stratchets. It's a combination of a stretchy part and something that can be tied down. This is how we make sure that all of the equipment inside Pepper stays where it needs to be, even when we're driving on bumpy roads. We use elastic energy in compression form to go from potential to kinetic energy with gas struts. These help us make sure that when we close, it compresses energy in here, and when we let go, it stays open, so it doesn't have to hit me on the head. We have these gas struts placed all over the truck. On the doors, we have gas struts on the table to help us easily deploy the legs. And most importantly, we have gas struts that help us lift our very large canopy tent. The most obvious form of chemical transformation of energy from potential to kinetic has to do with what every car has, and that is we store the fossil fuel of diesel fuel right here. Oh look, here's another gas strut, so it doesn't fall on my head. Here's the engine, which burns the diesel fuel, and it creates explosions, and it converts those explosions into mechanical energy, which makes the vehicle move. This propane tank stores propane, which is another fossil fuel. It's storing it in potential energy. When it comes down through this pipe, it can come out here in our stove where it is transformed into thermal energy, and we use this for cooking. This small tank of potential energy is filled with the fossil fuels of isobutane and propane mixed together, and this small tank, we can just screw on a small little stove here, and this helps us boil an entire container of water in less than 1 minute. We can also take the potential energy in the propane tank, and by connecting it directly to Pepper, we can end up fueling our onboard fireplace. The fireplace takes that chemical energy and converts it to thermal energy to warm the inside of Pepper for when we're sleeping at night or on a cold day. The engine also takes the potential energy from the diesel fuel, burns it and transforms it to thermal energy, which then is converted to mechanical energy to move the vehicle, and that mechanical energy is further transformed into electrical energy to store here in this battery. In addition to the battery in the engine, we have 2 more batteries back here, which run all of our electrical needs for the rest of the truck in the canopy camper part where we live. The house batteries inside the back of Pepper help run all of our other electrical needs, including running this 75-liter refrigerator freezer, so that anytime we want some cold food or drinks, we can easily grab them and enjoy a nice cold drink on a hot day. The house battery also helps us keep all of our electronics fully charged. It even runs an onboard air compressor so we can inflate our tires. In addition to using fossil fuels, we also use solar energy, where the sun hits our solar panels on the roof and converts that sun energy or solar energy into electrical energy, which is stored inside of our house batteries. Other forms of radiant energy, like the solar energy coming onto our panels, include the Bluetooth signals that come from our energy controller here to our phone so that we can control what's happening through the entire electrical system. And we convert electrical energy into radiant energy through this white satellite communicator dish that is on top of the roof that sends radiant energy signals to satellites in space and connects us to the World Wide Web internet.